Welcome back to Birds of a Feather. This is your Baltimore sports podcast. My name is Nathan Stroud, and today we are going to be going over the Orioles' 4-1 loss to the Minnesota Twins in the second game of the season. The Orioles lose their second game of the season. They fall to 1-1 on the year. Again, there's still 160 games left this year, so we're not going to take too much into this loss. We are going to discuss it. We are going to talk about it. There is some little concerning things that happen in this game, especially regarding our, best three hitters and our top three hitters in the lineup. But again, we're not going to put too much emphasis on this. There's still 160 games left this season. Let's not jump the horse a little bit too fast. You know what I'm saying? So we're not gonna freak out. By the middle of the year last year, if a game like this happened in mid-season last year, I would have fully crashed out. But we're going to take it calm. We're going to take it slow. Everything is good. We're fine. Let's just chill out and, get through the first at least couple weeks of the season before we really start putting some narratives on this Orioles team. So, going over this game, the Orioles lose 4-1. It was a pretty boring game, to be completely honest with you. The Orioles offense was pretty much non-existent, especially with runners in scoring position. They actually did out-hit the Twins 5-4, but they left 11 on base, and they were 1 for 4 with runners in scoring position, and they struck out 16 times in this game. And that pretty much tells you all that you need to know about the game. This is one of those games where you could just check the box score, you could look at the strikeout numbers, you can look at how certain players played, you can look at the left on base stat, and that pretty much sums up this entire game for you guys. This was all in the offense. Cal Bradish did take the mound in this game. Obviously, he's our number 2 pitcher, and he didn't look great in the first 2 innings. He looked incredible. Innings 3, 4, and 5 weren't great for him. He got through 4.2 innings, gave up 2 hits, 3 walks, had 4 strikeouts. Did give up a 2-run homer to Royce Lewis, and also did give up 2 runs. Technically, he gave up 3 runs, but it only counted 2 against him because one of them was an error from Adley Rutschman. Or one of them was an error from Jeremiah Jackson, which then led to an error from Adley Rutschman. It was this whole thing, right? Just a little bit of sloppy defense from Adley, and also a very razor-thin close call that got overturned eventually on a challenge in terms of Byron Buxton getting to first base. So that's how the Twins scored their first run. The other 3 runs were all, later in the game, and 2 of the 4 runs for the Twins did come off of the bat of Royce Lewis, who hit a 2-run homer off of Kyle Bradish. But again, Kyle Bradish didn't play great, gave up 2 earned runs, 4.2 innings. So not the worst start in the world. Obviously, the biggest thing that I think that we're looking at here is the fact that he only got through 4.2 innings. The Twins did a really good job of working his count. Being patient with the at-bats. Through 83 pitches, through 4.2 innings, not great for Kyle. Not really what you would like to see for his first start of the season. Did have 4 strikeouts, which is nice. 3 walks, 2 hits. Not incredible. Obviously, the 2-run homer is not great as well, but it really was the pitch count that was a little bit annoying. 83 pitches through 4.2 innings is not great. Couldn't really even get through the 5th inning as well. So not the best start by Kyle Bradish, but again, not the worst. Kyle Bradish's start was not the reason you lost this game. You could still win a game when your starting pitcher leaves when you're down 3-1. You know what I mean? You can still win that game when your starting pitcher leaves the game in the 5th inning down 3-1. That game is still very winnable, especially with a lineup and an offense that has very high expectations and has top 5 potential and, at minimum top 10 lineup in the league. And we're not even at full power yet. We don't have Jackson Holliday. We don't have Jordan Westburg right now. But still, the lineup they have right now still should be enough to come back in a game where you're only down 2. Eventually, we were down 3 later in the game. But going over to the pitching again, Kyle Bradish, we went over him. Yennier Cano, point-win innings, gave up a hit, but did get out of it. Dietrich Enns did give up one of the other runs. 1.2 innings, did give up a run to Cody Clemens, hit an RBI single off of him. So Dietrich Enns, again, we know that the bullpen is a little bit of a problem this year. The 1 run that the Orioles gave up yesterday was off of the bullpen, and then 1 of the 4 runs was off the bullpen today as well. So again, the bullpen didn't really play bad at all today. And the bullpen, again, is not the reason why we lost. The reason why we lost is completely on the offense today. But Dietrich Enns did give up a run. Geraldo, point-win innings, got a strikeout in his 3 pitches that he had. And then Andres Nunez, who was someone that a lot of people didn't really expect to make the opening day roster, he went out there, 2 innings, 0 hits, 0 runs, 0 walks, and 3 strikeouts in 2 innings. So he was incredible in the 2 innings that he pitched. Hopefully he can become a really reliable bullpen source for us, because a lot of this season, when it comes to the bullpen at least, is we're going to be playing guys like Dietrich Enns and Yamir Geraldo and Andres Nunez and guys like that, trying to figure out who we can really trust in those big situations, because right now the bullpen's a complete mess. You know, it's pretty much like the starting pitching is fine. I like the depth there, and I obviously love Ryan Helsley as our closer, but all the other relief pitchers, it's extremely questionable. So throughout the season, we're, especially at the beginning of the year, like right now, just trying to figure out who's going to be comfortable in those big scenarios and someone that you can really trust. And Andres Nunez put on a really big show and a really good audition, really, of why he should be a mainstay in this Orioles rotation. So you loved, or a mainstay in the Orioles bullpen. So you love to see that from him. But now, going to the ugly part of the game, the reason why we lost, and that was the Orioles hitters in this game. The hitting, the bats, they were not great in this game at all. The lineup was pretty much the exact same from yesterday, except we had Dylan Beavers starting over Tyler O'Neill, giving him that chance at right field. I've talked multiple times about how I think that Dylan Beavers will eventually take over Tyler O'Neill. This game didn't really prove it. You know what I mean? This game didn't really prove that, but I do think that Dylan Beavers does have a really good chance to take over him at some point this season. And then also, Jeremiah Jackson started over Blaze Alexander, which is a little bit weird because Blaze Alexander had the go-ahead hit in yesterday's game to give us the win in the 7th inning, and we benched him like the day after. So it was a little bit confusing, but again, Jeremiah Jackson and Blaze Alexander, those are rotational guys at second base, obviously, as we wait for Jackson Hall to come back. And we'll talk about Jeremiah Jackson in just a little bit, but it's going to be really hard to send Jeremiah Jackson down to AAA after what he did today. He is continuing exactly what he did last season, where he was just producing and he was consistent and he always came up with big hits and he was just producing on a high level. At the end of last year, you know, maybe we thought that it was a fluke. He played well in spring training. He made the opening day roster, and then in his first game, you know, his first appearance this season and his first start, he looked great. He looked incredible, and he looks like a mainstay of this, or not really a mainstay, but someone who's going to be a really reliable rotational guy who should get more at-bats throughout the season, even when Jackson Holiday does eventually come back. So starting with the top of the lineup, Taylor Ward, not a great game. Did get on base twice. He went 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts, but also did draw 2 walks in his last 2 at-bats. So, you know, shout out for him getting on base those 2 times, back-to-back walks for Taylor Ward. We know that his eye is not great. He doesn't really draw a lot of walks. He strikes out quite a lot, but he does have some power. He can bring runners home. And he can be a contact hitter when he needs to be. Like, he's been a pretty good contact hitter throughout his career until last year when his home runs went way up and his average went down. So we're kind of trying to see where Taylor Ward's going to be this year. So far, Taylor Ward in his first 2 games leading off has not gotten a hit, which is not great from your leadoff hitter. You don't really want your leadoff hitter to be 0 for 7 with 2 strikeouts. But he did draw 2 walks today, so I'm not going to get too upset at him. Not getting a hit is obviously something, but he did draw 2 walks in his last 2 at-bats, did get on base. He is a leadoff man, so he did his job near the end of his day. But going over to the guy who's batting second, the guy who many people, including myself, label as the franchise cornerstone of the Baltimore Orioles, and what he's done the first 2 games of the season doesn't change my stance on that at all. Again, I think that it's very easy, especially in baseball when there's 162 games. I think it's really easy for certain people, including myself sometimes. Like, I'm not going to exclude myself from this. But it's really easy for people to get really caught up in stuff that happens early on in the season. And I think that they forget to realize that there still is so much baseball left. You know what I mean? Like, this is game 2 of 162. Like, it's just because Gunnar Henderson has played really bad these first 2 games does not mean that he's going to have this horrible, horrible year. Obviously, you wish he would start off on a better foot, but we can't be putting too much into this right now. That's why I'm trying to be kind of like the glass half full type of guy, like saying, hey guys, let's chill out here. Like, let's not freak out too much. Obviously, there is some stuff to go over and look at and put some thought into, but I'm not going to freak out and say, like, oh my God, the season's over, guys. Oh my God. But Gunnar Henderson, in his first 2 games this year, in this game specifically today, he went 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. That was horrible. And in his last 2 at-bats, he had a chance to really do some damage and help out the Orioles. In his second to last at-bat, he had the bases loaded, right? He had the bases loaded with 2 outs, worked it to a full count. Gunnar Henderson had a chance to, like, put his stamp on this season, have his moment, give the Orioles the lead in this game, and then Gunnar Henderson unfortunately did fly out to right field. He got really upset. There's a video of him slamming his bat right afterwards. There's a video of him slamming something in the dugout. There's a video of him slamming something in the dugout. You know, he holds himself to a high standard. You know, there's a big Gunnar Henderson, like, poster on the back of the scoreboard in Camden Yards. So, like, and there's his shoe is outside of the stadium as well. Like, the Orioles put so much into Gunnar Henderson, and I think that Gunnar Henderson knows, especially coming off of the WBC, coming off of the season that he had last year, wanting to really prove himself this season. There's a lot of pride that he's taking into his play, but he's just not playing well right now, and it's specifically the strikeouts. He, I think right now, is 0 for 8 with 5 strikeouts this season, so that is not a great start for Mr. Henderson at all. And today he had a chance to really do some damage, and he flied out. And he kind of came up short in that scenario. And then in the 9th inning, we had Taylor Ward on with Gunnar with 1 out, and Gunnar had a chance to get on base, worked it to a full count again, and then he struck out. So, like, if Gunnar was able to get on for Pete Alonso, who knows what could have maybe happened in the bottom of the 9th inning, maybe like a cool walk-off to maybe tie it or something like that. Who knows? But again, he just did not play good, and he's not been playing good this year. The at-bats that he's had, I don't love. He's been chasing some balls that I don't love. And it's just not looking good. It's not a good start to the season for him. Obviously, there was a lot of expectation and hype for how well he played for Team USA in the WBC, and now Gunnar's just not having a good start to the year. And it's only 2 games, so again, I'm not going to put too much into it, but some people are saying it's like a Team USA curse. Like, Paul Skeens is his first start. He was horrendous. Aaron Judge has gotten off to a slow start. Alex Bregman's gotten off to a slow start. So you look at other people around Team USA, and it's like a Team USA curse or whatever. Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? But all I know is that Gunnar has not played good to start this year. He's 0 for 8 with 5 strikeouts to start the season. Hopefully in tomorrow's, winner, in the game tomorrow to take the series, hopefully Gunnar can play a lot better there. Going over to the number 3 batter, we all know him, the polar bear himself, Pete Alonso, does get his first hit in an Orioles uniform. His first hit as a Baltimore Oriole. It was a really cool moment. The crowd went crazy. He got that hit in the first inning. It was a 2-out single, got his base hit. And then after he got that single in the first inning, he proceeded to go 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts after that. So not a great day by Pete Alonso. Goes 1 for 5, 2 strikeouts. Obviously does get his first hit, which is cool, but again, just I think a lot of Orioles fans, including myself, are kind of looking for the pop, looking for the power, and really looking for that first home run, because I feel like if Pete can kind of connect with that first home run in Camden Yards, I think it's going to be really easy for him to kind of adjust and kind of know, like, okay, this is, I'm going to start getting into the season now. So Pete Alonso, 1 for 5, 2 strikeouts. Not a great game from him today. Got a single in the first, but after that did nothing. Adley Rutschman in this game goes 0 for 2 with 2 walks and a strikeout. So Adley continues to do well with getting on base. He had a 2-hit day yesterday, and then today he doesn't have a hit, but he gets 2 walks. So yesterday he had 2 yesterday he had 2 on-base appearances. Today he had 2 on-base appearances. Yesterday it was 2 hits. Today it was 2 walks. So you like to see Adley getting on base in a variety of different ways. Yesterday he had a double and a single, and then today he got on base from 2 walks. So Adley is having a pretty good start to the year, .333 batting average, a .500 on-base percentage. So you love to see it there from Adley. Putting together some really good at-bats, being very patient, way more patient than he was last year in his at-bats. So you like to see that from Adley. You want to see him continue to try and have this bounce back year this year. So it's a good start for him. Samuel Basallo in this game goes 0 for 3 with 1 walk and 2 strikeouts. Not a great game from him as well. Nobody really had a great game, to be honest with you, other than like Jeremiah Jackson, which we'll go over in a second. But Samuel Basallo 0 for 3, 2 strikeouts and a walk. He does get on base with a walk, which is nice, but again, we'd love to see him get a hit. He also had a chance to get a really big swing to tie the game earlier in the game, and he ended up striking out, which sucks. Dylan Beavers only got 2 at-bats in this game. He went 0 for 2 with a strikeout, and then Tyler O'Neill got put in as a pinch hitter, just replaced him out in right field. Tyler O'Neill also got 2 at-bats, and he went 0 for 2 with a strikeout as well. So both of them did the exact same thing, which is pretty funny. Kobe Mayo went 0 for 3 with a walk and a strikeout, did get on base with a walk. Colton Cowser got 2 at-bats, went 1 for 2 with a run scored. He was the only person that scored a run for the Orioles today. Colton Cowser did get a double in the second inning, which was cool to see. Colton Cowser 1 for 2 with a run scored and a double. We did take him out for Ryan Mountcastle due to lefty-righty matchup-based things. And then Ryan Mountcastle also got a hit in his only at-bat, which is cool to see. Then Leody Taveras instantly replaced him as a pinch runner. And then Jeremiah Jackson, who was by far the best player on offense today for the Orioles, he went 2 for 4 with an RBI in his first start, and he also got that hit in RBI in his first pitch that he saw, in the game and just this entire season. So very aggressive from Jeremiah Jackson. Went 2 for 4 with an RBI. He was the only Oriole that drove in a run today, and Colton Cowser was the only Oriole that actually scored a run today. So yeah, the offense was really, really struggling. They left 11 on base. They went 1 for 4 with runners in scoring position, and they struck out 16 times, which is pretty crazy. So not great at all from the Orioles. Obviously, they do have the game tomorrow, and the winner of this game does take this first initial opening series of the year. So hopefully the Orioles can go out there and get this done, and hopefully the Orioles can win. The Twins are going to have Bailey Oberon pitching, and then the Orioles are going to have Shane Baz pitching. Speaking of Shane Baz, he just signed a 5-year, $68 million extension with the Orioles during yesterday's off day. He signed a 5-year, $68 million extension with the Orioles during the off day yesterday. You love to see it from Shane. You love to see Mike Elias being aggressive. I like this extension. I think that obviously the Orioles have a lot of trust in this guy, very similar to Trevor Rogers. They traded 2 high prospects for Trevor Rogers. We see what he's doing right now. Shane Baz, has a ton of potential. He's a younger pitcher. He's a big strikeout guy. And we traded 5 of our top 30 prospects, including 2 guys in the top 10. We traded them to Tampa for Shane Baz, and he just signed an extension that's going to keep him in Baltimore for a pretty long time. And he's making his first appearance for the Orioles tomorrow. I think it's a little bit funny how he signed an extension with the Orioles before he even pitched an inning for us. But he is going to make his season debut tomorrow. We're going to see Shane Baz making his debut tomorrow for the Orioles. Not only his season debut, but his Orioles debut, coming off of that 5-year extension as well. So there's going to be some pressure to perform, especially after getting that big extension, and especially after being now the highest paid Orioles pitcher ever, I'm pretty sure, in terms of like extension-based things. So Shane Baz going to be coming, pitching for the first time in an Orioles uniform, coming off that extension. That's going to be really cool to see. I'm hoping he goes out there and plays really well, because if he doesn't play well, and if he plays really horrible tomorrow, then a lot of people are going to be talking about the extension and why did we do it and all that stuff, even though it was just one start. And it's just going to lead to a lot of unwanted conversations and stuff like that. So hopefully Shane can go out there and kill it tomorrow, and hopefully the Orioles can win this series tomorrow. And one more thing that I do want to go over really quickly is just kind of the 1, 2, and 3 hitters for the Orioles to start this season. Taylor Ward is 0 for 7, Gunnar Henderson is 0 for 8 with 5 strikeouts, and Pete Alonso is 1 for 8 with 4 strikeouts, and we've left 17 runners on base over the last 2 games, including 11 today. Also, if you see who tweeted this out, that is the Birds of a Feather Twitter account if you want to go out there, or the Birds of a Feather Twitter account if you want to go out there and follow that. It's going to be in the link in bio. We're going to go over that in just a second, but I would really appreciate if you guys follow it. It's very, very fun over there. I live tweet every single Orioles game and every single sort of Orioles and Ravens news. But again, going over to the context of this tweet, The 1, 2, and 3 hitters for the Orioles so far this season have been pretty damn disappointing. Only 1 hit between these 3 guys in the first 2 games. Taylor Ward doesn't have a hit. Gunnar Henderson doesn't have a hit. Gunnar Henderson also struck out 5 times. Pete Alonso got a single today, but he's also struck out 4 times in the last 2 games. And we've left a lot of runners on base over the last 2 games as well. 2 days ago we won 2-1 in the season opener, and then today we lost 4-1. So we've only scored 3 runs in 2 games, which is not ideal at all. To be completely honest with you, it's not ideal. So hopefully the offense can really wake up tomorrow and we can get that win and win the series. But thank you guys so much for tuning into and listening to this episode of Birds of a Feather. If you like this content, make sure to subscribe on YouTube, follow up on Spotify. Make sure to click the link in the bio to check out the Twitter and the Instagram. I live tweet every single Orioles game every single day, or every single game I live tweet them, and I post every sort of news and all that stuff that you need to know. So make sure to go check that out. Also, any sort of Ravens news, I do the exact same thing on that account as well. Again, I appreciate you guys so much. This is game 2 of 162. There is still a lot of things left this year. There's still a lot of different storylines to happen. So again, let's not put too much into this. Let's not freak out too much over this loss. The Orioles are 1-1 on the season. They have a chance to win the series tomorrow. The first series of the year, they have a chance to win it tomorrow. And if they win the series tomorrow, then all is well. Then we, start a series against the Rangers on Monday, and we'll see what happens from there. But again, I appreciate all the support. I'll see you guys in the next one. You have a greatest Tales day. Go O's, go Ravens, and I'll see y'all later. Peace out.